Right, we're going to make an MP3 disk from iTunes, so we'll open iTunes first of all, because you need to be able to make iTunes convert to MP3 files. So in the iTunes menu across the top, go to Preferences, the General tab needs to be selected, Import Settings, change from AAC encoder to MP3 encoder. OK in that window, OK in that window. Now we'll select an album to convert. Let's go for this one. And what we need to do first of all, before we get into that, is go into Finder, go to the Mizens folder. I've got this one here. We'll go in there, and up in the Finder menu we'll create a new folder. We'll call that MP3 Disk 1, and then double click, and let's get this we're in there now. We're located on that folder, so up in the Finder menu again we'll go File, New Folder, and we'll call that Money Hatchet. Okay, I'm going to change this view now to just be that. We're in the Molly Hatchet folder on that one. Okay, and what we'll also do is we'll go back up to the Finder menu, File, New Finder window, so creating a new window, and we'll put that at the top here, make it a bit bigger. Basically what we want to do with this one is go to Music, iTunes. This is where mine is, but yours might be different. I think you wrote it down. iTunes Music. I've got all my artists there, so I'll scroll down to find Molly Hatchet. Double click. That's the album. And those are the songs in there. So that's where they are at the moment with iTunes. And this is where we want to put the MP3s. So first of all, we need to create the MP3s. So with this iTunes window active, go to the menu at the top, Edit, select all. They should all be highlighted. And then we'll go into File, Create New Version, Create MP3 version. And that will take a little bit of time. I'll try and cut this out of the video, but if it doesn't, you can just scroll through it a bit, I think, for this next minute or so. You can see the creating the MP3 files in this window here. This is the iTunes folder, as well as being shown down here as well. Okay, so they're all copied. You've got duplications in there, and you've got the duplications in there, all the MP3s. Now with this format, this view in the Finder window, you can click on kind, which separates them into the different kinds of file. And what we want to do is click on the first MP3. We want to move those MP3s or copy them. So we click on there, and what I do is hover over there, single click on there to highlight it, and then point on that one, on the last one, press the shift button and click, and it highlights them all. If we go up to the Finder menu at the top, you can say edit, copy 10 items. That copies it into the computer's memory. Go down to this MP3 file folder and activate that one, and then you can go up to here and paste the 10 items, or you can right click and paste them in there. I'll just do this here, paste 10 items. So that's actually copied them from here into your new folder. So that's that part done. That's created the MP3s where you want them, but they're still in there. So in order to get rid of those, we need to go over to iTunes again. And what we can do with that highlighted, if we go up to View, Show Duplicate Items, and then within here you see the artists here. This is the list of artists that have duplicate items. So if we go down to Molly Hatchet, that filters on just the Molly Hatchet ones. So as you can see, they're all in the same album, which is what we want. Now, in order just to check which ones are MP3s and which ones are the other versions, if we click on there, on my computer I press the command button, or the one with the apple on it, or a squiggly pattern, and click on there, and that doesn't work. No, it's control. So control and click and get info, and that shows for this one highlighted, it's an AAC audio file, and that's the location, which is fine. If you go next, the highlight goes down to the next one, and that shows that that's the MPEG layer 3, which is the MP3. Now if you just keep clicking next, they should alternate in type. As long as they do that, then we know that every other one down here is an MP3. Just go all the way down to the bottom, and then every other one is an MP3, so that's the end. And this last one is an MP3, so just say OK there, and then what I'm doing is I'll click on, that one's highlighted, I know that's MP3, that one's an MP3 there, so I press the Apple button on mine, or the squiggly pattern one, and click again, and then do the same up here, press the Apple command button, click, and just keep going up, because all the alternate ones are MP3s, so we'll do that. That's all of them, and then you can, they're highlighted, so we can go up to the edit, delete, and this is where it says, are you sure? Yes. Delete the songs, and it's actually saying, do you want to move the files to the trash? And that's talking about the files in in here, and that's what we want to do. We want to get rid of those MP3s. So move to trash. That's tidied this up. That's tidied the file area up for for iTunes, and we've still got the MP3s there. So that's what you wanted to do, and you've tidied up iTunes. So the last thing there, back into iTunes, tidy it up completely. Just say preferences, general, import settings, change that back to AAC encoder, OK, and we've done with the display duplicates. So over here it says done, and we're done with that, and that's got that file created with the MP3 files in it. That's one album, and of course you just need to do that with other albums, but then what you would do is you would put another album into this folder here. So with that highlighted, you would then go File, New Folder, and this is your new album, and do the same again.